Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are saying goodbye to the Tier 9 British cruiser, the Neptune. And it's been a long time coming, and for anyone that does not know, I love my British ships. I love the Neptune. The Neptune has probably been one of my favorite ships so far that I've actually really enjoyed playing, and I'm gonna miss her, but good thing for her, I'm not actually planning on selling her. Would be nice having that additional money, but I'm not planning on selling her because, like I said, I actually enjoyed her. So we're going to quickly take a look at the stats. The ship is fully upgraded, so this is the final stats. Hit points 44,900. Not the greatest in the world. You're kind of on the weak side, but that's kind of normal for the British cruisers. Now, one obvious thing is that her Citadel does sit quite a bit higher, especially compared to the Tier 8 Edinburgh. So you're very, very easy to get Citadeled because of this raised Citadel. And that's something to keep in mind. But one good thing is if you can get your bow turned in against, say, any other cruisers that are firing at you, you can at least ricochet most shells. So always keep that in mind when you are playing the British cruisers. Try to angle yourself as much as possible. Don't allow people to show that broadside, and you should be able to survive a little bit longer. Moving on to the main guns, and they are fantastic guns. You have 4 turrets, 3 guns each, 152 millimeters. They have a 5-second reload time, 18 seconds on the turn time. They fire those special type of AP shells, 3,200 points of damage with a 16.5 kilometer range with 768 meters per second. So very lofty shells, and you do have to take that into consideration every time you do fire and leading a target. Because if you don't, well, you're going to have issues landing shells. So do keep that in mind. You do have secondary turrets. You have 6 dual 114 millimeters. They fire HE, the only time you'll ever able to fire HE. They have a reload time of 3 seconds. Max HE damage is 1,600 with a 7% fire chance and a 5-kilometer range. Now, moving on to torpedoes, you have 4 sets of torpedo tubes with 4 torpedoes each, 533 millimeters and a 10-kilometer range. And once again, they can be fired either narrow or single, and it's awesome firing single, especially if one torpedo will hit, all the rest will hit and do massive amount of damage. So 8 torpedoes, and they each will do a max damage of 16,767 points of damage. They have a 96-second reload time with a 7-second turn time on the guns, and once again 10 kilometers. So pretty nice. They are 62 knots, so they are very beneficial to have. Now, one little thing I should point out right now is that I've moved my captain. This is not my fully upgraded captain, so the captain skills are going to be definitely a little bit better, especially for your AA. You can get your captain or your AA defense up to around 93, which definitely is very beneficial because these guns are pretty potent. You have 14 dual 20 millimeters with a range stock of 2 kilometers, 85 points of damage. Then you have 10 dual 40 millimeters with a average damage of 254 with a 3.5 kilometer range. Then you have 6 dual 114 millimeters. Average damage is 107 with a 5-kilometer range. And then you have 4 triple 152 millimeters. Average damage is 86 with a 6-kilometer range. So moving on to maneuverability, max speed is 35.2 knots. Very zippy little ship, which is really nice because this allows you to get around the map a little bit quicker. She is, I believe, the 2nd fastest Tier 9 cruiser. I think just under the Moscow. No, not the Moscow. Good lord, that's not even a ship in the game. The Dmitry, which has around 36 knots, 710 meters turning circle radius, and a 10.8 rudder shift time. Very sluggish on the rudder shift time, I find sometimes. Now moving on to concealment. The concealment you can actually get down to around 10 kilometers with the captain skill, but right now it's 12.7 kilometers. And obviously, since they got rid of the invisifiring, the ship will be detected after firing the main shells at 16.5. Previously, you could actually invisifire with a ship. Once again, the shells are kind of lousy at landing at a ship that is far away. I think you only had about a 1 or 2 kilometer buffer between invisifiring and being detected. So that's something to keep in mind. But once again, no longer applicable to the current game. Detectability range by air is 9.1. Alright, moving on to modules. So what I would probably recommend on modules, and I will be re-getting these, is getting main armaments mod 1. Now originally I had thought, and I've been told this does not work because obviously Wargaming already thought of this. I thought about getting auxiliary armaments mod 1, which will give you 100% to secondary battery survivability and AA mounts. And my thought was the main guns actually are technically AA mounts, but they do not apply apparently, or at least so I've been told. So I would recommend getting the main armaments mod 1. Very beneficial to having that. Alright, moving on to the second slot on the modules, I would probably recommend getting AA Guns Mod 2, which will increase the range by 20%. This will obviously allow you a better ability to shoot down planes further away. Definitely will help with your tertiary AA mounts and your secondary AA mounts to shoot down those planes a little bit quicker. Now this will buff your AA defense to 96. And if you want, technically you get the captain skill, which will increase the range even further by, I think, additional 20%. So that is something you can go. You can do a full thing. I would probably just recommend at least AA Guns Mod 2 for right now, and possibly wait on the captain skill for advanced firing training. Moving on to the third. What I would probably recommend getting is main battery modification 3. This will reduce the amount of time to loading your guns, but increase the amount of time to turning them. So that's something to keep in mind. This is very beneficial, especially will allow you to shoot down, or not shoot down, but pump out shells a lot quicker and do more and more damage, which definitely is very beneficial. Moving on to the next one, probably recommend damage control system mod 1. Because very rarely have I ever experienced getting my engines knocked out or my steering gears. The only thing I can think of would be if you are citadeled quite heavily without dying, obviously. That is the only time I can really think of when your engines will be knocked out. But probably Damcom 1 would be beneficial. Now the next one is going to be steering gears modification 2. This will reduce your rudder shift time by 20%. And this is extremely beneficial for British cruisers because you don't really turn that well right now as stock, so this will allow you to dodge shells a little bit more easily and get you out of a very nasty circumstances. So get steering gears mod 2, very beneficial. The last one obviously is probably going to be concealment mod 1. This will reduce your detectability quite a bit. This will reduce it by 10% and increase the dispersion, which is actually something rather new, by 5%. So that is beneficial. So yes, definitely get this one. This will allow you to get in a little bit closer and find a proper spot to set up so you can do massive amount of damage. Now moving on to the captain. This is a new captain. I haven't gone back to retrain him, but I will show you what I would probably recommend. Preventive maintenance or even priority targets are very beneficial. Priority target obviously will allow you to know when you are being selected to be fired at, so that will allow you to get out of the way if you need to. Preventative maintenance obviously reduces the risk of incapacitation of modules such as your AA mounts by 30%. So if you want them to last a little bit longer, this might be a good route to go. Now moving on to the next one, expert marksman. For right now, this will increase the turret traverse speed by 0.7%. Or by 0.7 degrees per second. So this will help compensate for the reduction on the turret speed when you got the module. Next one, I would probably recommend Superintendent. This will give you additional smoke, and if you get premium smoke, you'll have 4 charges. Very beneficial to have, because you really live longer if you have more smoke available to you. Always scavenge for smoke, but having 4 charges is very beneficial. Then obviously last, for your 10th point, I would recommend Concealment Expert. Reduce your detectability a little bit more. That's always very nice. Now moving on to the next points, this is what I have done for my British captain. You can do whatever you would like, but this is what I've experienced the best so far. For the tier 2, Jack of all trades, this reduces reload time of mounted consumables by 5%. And if you get the additional flag, which reduces the reload time, it also reduce it by 5%, so that's minus 10%. I'm pretty certain they stack, but this will allow you to get smoke a little bit faster. It is very beneficial. Next one, I would probably recommend Vigilance. Vigilance is very, very handy to have, especially if you are sitting in a smoke screen. Smoke screens are very well known to be torpedo magnets, so highly recommend this. This will allow you to at least detect torpedoes and possibly try to get out of the way as fast as possible without being killed off very quickly. For your last skill, I would probably recommend either Advanced Firing Training if you want to go with this. This will increase the fire range by 20% for your AA defense. Fortunately, it doesn't help your guns, which is, I guess, a good thing, because technically really don't need that additional range. Or you can go for manual fire control for AA armaments. This will increase the average damage by 100% for any AA guns with a caliber above 85 millimeters against a priority target. The guns that it will help are going to be your main guns and your secondary guns. Now this is actually very beneficial for the Neptune and not so much for the Minotaur. The Minotaur doesn't have any additional AA guns besides, well, any caliber guns besides the main guns, but the Neptune actually has 2. It is the 114 millimeters. This will increase it by 100%, so you have 214 average damage in your main guns, which will increase it, and that will give you 172 average damage per second. So I would almost say get a manual fire control for AA, and possibly if you want to switch it up for your Neptune, for your Minotaur, you could get Advanced Firing Training, or you can opt for something else. Like I said, this is kind of what I've done for my Neptune captain, and I've had really good luck with it. So we are going to go ahead and say goodbye. Technically not really goodbye, but moving on to the Minotaur. But first, let's take a look at a couple replays I have for you. One is going to be a short little funny moment, and the other one's going to be a little bit longer battle. So I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, welcome back to a replay with the Neptune, and this one's kind of a funny moment to say the very least. We are currently playing on Haven, one of the newer maps, and I like this map. This map's actually very fun to play. There's these very low islands that allow for these more close encounters and battles. It's definitely a more favorite, probably more fan favorite map. Now I am over here at sea. I'm currently using the friendly smoke. It's always a good idea to scavenge smoke from wherever you can find it. Always a good idea to save your smoke as much as possible. Now we do have a Fletcher and Udaloy that's kind of round. It looks like the smoke is starting to dissipate, but the Fletcher and Udaloy are moving south, and I believe there's also a destroyer up by that Togo northeast. Now this is prior to 6.3, so there is still the ability to invisifire, and that's always very nice. And the reason why I kind of wanted to show this off, because it was just a rather funny moment and holy shit moment. Probably a brown pant alert moment, to say the very least. So there I am detected, And this is going to play important, so everyone will know at least where I'm at. I'm going to go ahead and start slowing up and gonna pop my smoke whenever possible. Now, trying to preserve it as long as possible, but the Zao is actually starting to turn in, and it looks like he's probably gonna bring his guns to bear, but fortunately we are out of detection and we don't have to worry about it, so we're just gonna pepper away at this Zao. Now, like I said, what was probably really important is the fact that I was detected, so if any players on the enemy team was paying attention, they would know there's at least a Neptune sitting over here in the smoke screen. So, as we know, a smoke screen is a torpedo magnet, and well, my hydro's off, so might eventually need to invest in popping that. Just waiting for the moment, taking a look at this feed of glass, trying to farm some damage. Haven't had the best opportunity on that, and you can see the base is being capped right now. The cap is being controlled, and pop my hydro, and there's the gearing 3.5 kilometers away, and he probably wasn't wanting to deal with this. Drops his torpedoes, but goes down in 2 salvos, and we get a devastating strike. Very nice. Very, very nice. Poor Gearing. I think he was hoping to at least capture, or at least get me while I was in that smoke screen. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the next replay. Alright, everyone. Welcome back to the last replay and the last battle I had in with my Neptune. We are currently playing on shards. We have a Vita de Grossa, North Carolina, 3 Colorados, Neptune, Prince Eugen, Mogami, Atago, a Fiji, Benson, Akatsuki. On our team, on the enemy team, there is a Missouri, Bismarck, 3 Colorados, Rune, New Orleans, Mogami, Kutuzov, Kagero, Ognovoy, and a Mahan. And apparently, Colorados was very popular in this battle. So I spawned on the far western side of the map, and that means I'm going to try to go to A, but as any good British / Neptune Minotaur captain, or yeah, essentially any good British captain will tell you, you don't want to just charge right in there. So I'm actually going to kind of peel off a little bit, especially heading towards A, and we can see A is currently being captured. And technically I have no support at the moment. All our friendly ships are still in our cap, and or at least in our spawn. Now we are detected, and that means there has to be a pesky little destroyer in there somewhere. So let's just see if we can get a little bit closer and at least spot them. And it looks like we are being fired on by a enemy ship. Shots incoming. I think, yep, slight damage, not too bad. And there is the enemy Ognovoy. And this enemy Ognovoy, he's a decent captain, to say the very least. And it looks like there is a New Orleans. Now, this New Orleans probably should have been firing AP. Could have done a significant amount of damage. He had caught me broadside. Now, I do slow up because, once again, the Ognovoy was there somewhere. And trying to, hopefully waiting for a particular ships to come down and assist, but fortunately it was a good thing that I did slow up, because I think those torpedoes probably would have hit me, and I'm guessing there's more than one destroyer here, because that's quite a few torpedoes incoming, because the Ognovoy, if fully upgraded, has 10 torpedoes. And that, I think, is actually a little bit more. So we are detected once again, which must mean the enemy Ognovoy is out there somewhere. Yes, there he is. Finally detected, and I run aground, which is unfortunate. Now, he does pop smoke, which means I can't detect him, but at the exact same time, he cannot see me, which is good. It's always a good thing. Alright, so I want to get him moved away. We do know at least the Ognovoy has dropped torpedoes, so not likely he's going to be able to drop torpedoes anytime soon. So I'm actually going to try to go ahead and try to catch this New Orleans if all possible. But we are once again detected. The Ognovoy popped out of the smoke screen. And this is something I would not recommend. Do not go up against a British cruisers. Try to keep, if you have to, try to keep angled as much as possible, because yeah, you won't really last very long if you do show up broadside. Do go ahead, drop torpedoes, And we're sliding out forward, and we might get a torpedo hit. Now, here I probably should have been paying attention to the map. Because, oh, hello, there is a New Orleans. We do land a torpedo, which is nice. But once again, this New Orleans captain probably should have been firing AP. Probably could have done a lot more damage than his high explosive does get us on fire. Bringing guns to bear. This broadside, 3 citadels. Yes, that's very nice. Torpedoes in the water, but at last, I don't think we're gonna be that lucky because the Otago actually gets the kill for hitting the ship one last time. We do land a torpedo hit, which is nice, but once again, we don't get the kill, which is a shame. Alright, that's all taken care of, and now we can try to capture A at full capability. And now the New Orleans captain's not particularly happy. Or no, I believe, who is this Brian Star? Ah, the Missouri, yes. Sadly, the Iowas don't have a very good citadel. Very easy to get citadeled. Alright, so I am taking full control of the A cap at the moment. And I'm going to try to get somewhere I can actually assist our team. Our team is finally pushing around to A. We have these Colorados that are pushing down. Don't exactly know why they are, but I guess they are. Now here's one little thing to know. There is actually a key, especially this is very beneficial for British cruisers, is you have a key that will actually reload your torpedoes. Now I haven't tested this out on whether or not it will just reload for the full minute or so, or if it will reduce it depending on how many torpedoes you have. Now the Colorado comes around the corner, and I go ahead and pop smoke, and let's see if we can get some good damage rolls on him. Hoping to get torpedoes on him, but doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to. But the shells on the British cruisers can do a lot of damage. 9,000 points of damage right there, and oh, this is just the best. Colorado just showing us a broadside. You can rack up damage quite quickly. It looks like he does disappear just for a moment. Go ahead and open up again. And once again, I don't really understand why our Colorado captains came all this way. Looks like they actually took out a destroyer out there. I think the Ognivoy went down. So good for them, I guess. Colorado does pop back up in view. And not bad, but I think he's actually going to go ahead and start angling. So that means I probably should switch targets and rack up even more damage. I really do enjoy my British cruisers, and this Colorado is just burning to the ground. He's probably not having a lot of fun at the moment. 5,000 points of damage there. Let's see, can we get a little bit better? 6,000? Not bad. I'm satisfied with that amount of damage. Now there is a enemy rune that is 5.3 kilometers away, and he's particularly close. Now if he does pop hard acoustics, he could easily detect us. But at the exact same time, we do have torpedoes, which is always very nice. Shots in on this Colorado. Can we get the kill? There we go. We got the kill. Very first kill of the game. Well, not first blood, but our first kill. That's always good. Go ahead, switch targets to this Colorado. And I do get a little stuck here. Not in a particularly fantastic place, but at least we're able to rack up some more damage. We are finally detected. Can we get a second kill? That would be nice. Yes! Take out the enemy Colorados. Unfortunately for us, the torpedoes aren't in a particular great location. I was too focused on that Colorado to get those torpedoes off against this rune, and I don't think we're going to be lucky to actually land any torpedo hits against him, but he's still showing us a broadside. Gonna try to angle myself as quickly as possible. I think his attention is on someone else at this moment, so I don't think I have to worry. Torpedoes came pretty close, as you can see. Very close there, and I don't think this rune is going to survive for very much longer, but once again, I've really got myself stuck here. probably need to try to get out as quick as possible. There is only one enemy ship left on the enemy team, and it is that lowly Kagero. And I really don't think he's going to be able to pull it back. Not against 9 ships. Yeah, not likely. It's just going to be a waiting game on who's going to get the kill. So let's actually finally get out of this channel and try to get a little bit closer to help against this Kagero, because the closer you are against any known destroyers, the better it is. And oh gosh, those are torpedoes. Oh, can we dodge this? Oh, friendly torpedoes. Fortunately, we're able to dodge it. The Kagero does pop back up. And let's just try to rack up a little bit more damage. This Kagero is just not in a very good location. He has a Megami very close to him. And who's going to get the kill? Let's see, we're getting good hits. Earned Confederate. But it looks like the Megami does get him. Alright, so we are finally going to say goodbye to the Neptune. And although, like I said, I will not be selling her, but yeah, my attention's on the Minotaur at the moment. I will probably come back to the Neptune, especially if I need a tier 9, because once again, I really do enjoy the Neptune, and I hopefully, especially anyone that is still on the fence on whether or not to actually push up the British cruiser line, go for it. It's a very nice cruiser. You do hit the Fiji and the Edinburgh, which are fantastic cruisers as well, but the British cruisers really start to shine probably around the tier 9 and 10 mark. So highly recommend it. So this is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zai Jin.